Good morning, folks. It's 10:21 a.m. on the 11th day, first month, 2023. And like I said, the totals are going to begin to show, and expect that number to rise as these days go past before the event comes. Those totals are included in this, right? Or net if there's nothing going on, right? Because something from nothing means something, and you got to have something to make something. Right? So we're going to have a look at the chem. Going to look at the various indicators of why the moisture's coming your way. And if I'm got the strength, I'll look at some webcams. This is primarily an Australia show today. I'll give a quick glance over to New Zealand. And just to show you a basic pet. But you're really in the middle of it now. And it looks like she's headed back over the island and going out to sea. And before it does, she's going to do a turnaround and kick your ass a little bit. So I'll show you a little bit of that. But some of these tendrils are starting to show coming in on the 10s. Are starting to get away from this area. But they're showing something rather nerve-wracking to me. That's showing they're going to split the moisture from the tropics when it comes in. And what I mean by that is I'm watching these beams here, right? The ones that came through here that caused that big earthquake. Well, the secondary beams have now been deployed. It's going to start to move the stuff from the tropics down. You can just start to see the pulse there. Let's see if I can stop in the last frame. Get this up here for you. Right here is it's a pulse. And this pulse here, when you see it come down like this in a wedge, see that there? It's moving, scanning. I know the screen is jumping. But it's the only way I can get at the controls is to hit a left-right. So it's beaming this actual river of moisture and forming a cut that's going to back this up into a second strand and then force all this in a way, because here's like the front edge of it, down into the Carpentaria area down here. Flows through these various islands are going to split it. So half is part, I say 3/4 of it is coming into Queensland here. And it's going to move into a couple waves. So here's your what's behind in the 5 days. And this, when it comes out of here, will make a cyclone. So this, to me, is the birthing moment in geoengineering time. Right within these hours here, because this is a sustained beam event. Right on the 11th month, first day. That's today. At 6 o'clock this morning, my time, which was 4 hours and 24 minutes ago. This image came in, right? And I can go forward a little bit, right? The beam is still on, so it's making a scan. It's actually pulsing the moisture from here over, almost like a sweep, because the front edge of that will act like a little hand, and it'll push things a certain way. So they've just done what I call the Chinese brushstroke, like they use with their they use brushes to write with calligraphy, and they like to make little strokes. And it is for surely 100% a Chinese weather manipulation method. I've seen it many times. And this is going to back some moisture through here. So they could send this through on a flow, right? But they could do it in a controlled manner. Because if you sent it all at once, all this here is being manipulated too. It's forming something that I'm not sure where they're going to put this yet. And this is separate. It could split the flows of it and just blast it straight across this island and just get it into this stream here. And the stream is very active. If I can go to the, bring it back down again. Bring it down. Bring it down. Gonna bring it down. Go bring it. Boom, do, 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 do. That's domain. I'll show you the river. I'll do it on a domain change too. I'll give the global, and I'll give you 120 hours. It should give you a good idea to show some of the motions. So excuse the flash and lights you'll see while these screens are loading. And this gives me a chance to see some of the polar blasts, because 4 days gets it about halfway, 3/4 of the way across the Antarctic. When I see a blast here, and I can predict when it's going to come out here, because you could do that. I could force one here and have it come up behind. I could take this water here, pulse it down across the Antarctic, and bring it back onto your ass from here. Take a shortcut. But this is a vast distance. Look at how many degrees of the map are covered between here and here. Yeah, about half a world. Uh-huh. Hey, these maneuvers from here to here and from here to here show me a visible evidence that it's not going beyond what was set as an ice wall into other islands and various territories. So how is that occurring then in that flat Earth model? So I'm just to give you something visible here, because this pulse here should end up coming out here, right about here, in or displace some air that comes out here that would take about 5 days, depending upon how fast the pulse was. And I watch this and I document it, and I can look at it at other places as well. If I want to look at Antarctica, I can come over here. And there's better feeds than this, right, to use. And a lot of times I can come over here and I can see where they're chemming actually around Antarctica. They do a lot of experiments around here. And there's a big ice block here that chips off every year and breaks up and comes back. So right now it's broken up. Well, when it comes back in, it refreezes. But when they showed you that breaking off, it was a disaster. Yeah, because it's huge. That's a big piece of ice. Yeah, but they got lots of fissures and cracks that happen, and then when they go out, they refreeze. But you're not told that statistic. And it's every bit of your business, too. And as you look out here, it's a chem bomb deployment with heavy EMF. A lot of catalysts put in the atmosphere to propagate these waveforms. That probably is ice on the actual ocean itself, forming eddies in the currents that you see. There's lots of differences. When you get in the iceberg zones, you have to really use critical thinking, because there's so much wild shit out here. But you got a lot of chem. There's lots of military operating out here, so most of the methods you'll see will be military. Yeah, you ain't flying your Cessna out here, unless you was on one of those islands. And even then, it's a very dangerous proposition to be doing here in these southern oceans around the world. So if something comes across here and predictably comes out here, or a blast of this comes across and predictably can come out here, then where's your ice wall theory? I think it's just been blown to shit. Okay? That's why Robert's critical thinking. But please, I invite you to the oneness on that. Oh, it's a hard phrase to use right now. There's lots of chem causing various nucleations in this deck of EMF. So you get these fall streak clouds. If I have a sea of that and I drop something on top of it to change its dynamics, it'll blow a cloud out right around it as its desiccant type and interactions pull the moisture away. See that zipper line? We've seen that deployment before. Yep. You know where you are, man? You're on our mother, man, and she's being fried like bug. You are. Look what they're doing to the ocean here. It's a big waveform. Big waveform. And this is just the Antarctica feed. Now take you back to Oz. I can even look at the Arctic over here. I've popped this one to you. Nothing. It's dark up here, and it's a visible satellite, so you won't see anything up there for a while. So I just go geographic on it. And what I'm looking at here is the Coral Sea off the coast of Queensland. What's going to fuel this storm? Where's the line going to be where the flooding stops? Because this is going to be a devastator, and it's imminent. And heed this warning. I'm going to show you now. Just to get right to it. This river is going to have big problems as everything races toward the lake. All right, toward the lake. At least it has a place to go. But if the lake is already full and it's already wide over there, which I have a feeling it is, you're in some problems. It's going to be mighty swampy out there. That's usually what that means. Well, the marsh is going to run wide, and this highway is going to be a no-go zone here in a few days. There's going to be a swath, actually, up north here. Yeah, this road's going to be hard, and these numbers are going to change because this water's going somewhere from here, and I haven't yet been able to determine with the pressures yet. Yeah, the pressure's so volatile moving around, I couldn't give you a definitive on that. I can give you a definitive on this area of Queensland over here. Absolutely, I ain't joking about here. This is going to get bad. Very bad. And I gave a basic warning. Now, all these tributaries are going to be swollen. Where do they run? Toward this lake. What highway system is in the way? What's going to get flooded? Where do you need to be careful? This is what I'm keeping in mind. And when you see all these creeks side by side, that usually means it's like a wide area that it's dry riverbed that can flood. Sometimes it's not. You don't want to be camping in there just coming after the 5 days here. Just give it a minute. Sometimes things take time to load here now when I change stats. They say this is coming very eminently. You within the fives, you're getting that. Well, that's a troubling statistic for you people out here who have already suffered so much in the last 30 days. And this is a big swath, and it's got to go somewhere. And only you guys know exactly where that's going to go. How's this sound? Let me look. I thank you for all your hard work, you people. You are the heroes. You're the lifesavers. You're the ones that give the warning and take the heat from the locals for being the Cassandra that gives the warning. Right? We're talking shy of a half a meter of water coming down around there. Right? This ain't a little bit for the city of Mackay either. And they've stuck to their guns on this plan for this area. And that's within the 5 days. All right, do you have 24 hours to react over here? You absolutely do. So I would suggest that you do. Before these roads are so inundated, you have to ride it out. Okay, and riding it out is always an option. If you know what happened before, if you've been flooded there, and you know you're about to get a cascade, but most of it's toward the coast, so it's going to run that way. And the wind's going to blow a lot of that rain inland. It's going to hem up near these mountains. It will. And the wind's going to drive it there. So this river here is in great danger of flooding. This highway here is nowhere to be caught out on. So get your errands done. You know your back roads. You know your high ground. But so don't count on the low ground road being underneath the water where it used to be. These roads have had a hell of a lot of stress this year. We got a railroad junction here. Who's here? What's been proposed here? That's already an interchange. That's an interchange, railroad interchange. Was there a factory or something out here? Mine? Because that's a come bring your car in, unload it place. Are they going to make a big camp here? Is there a proposed city here in Benholm? What the fuck is going on here? Now, I'm a wascally wabbit and I like to know things. And I don't trust the government not lying to me. If they say falling down 2 stairs breaks that many fucking bones, I don't believe it. I don't believe much of nothing after 9/11. This road's going to have major difficulties here. Okay, so be very, 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 very careful. Let's look at this area here. Is it low lying? Yes. Do they have water going to it? Yes. Oh, man. Maybe it's an unused town. They just made it and there's nobody there. Was there a military base here or something? Because usually I see houses or something. Numbers. Well, as usual, get your vestments out of the church and save them. Get the books out of the library. Get them up in the air. Don't lose the books. Don't lose the printed things. Don't lose your right to print things. And well, sink that, please. The council building's probably holding all the records of the plans of what they plan to do with the town after they get you to leave. And then they'll lure people into work with new workforce that's wanted for this district of Australia. Welcome to the Hunger Games. Hunger Games. Your road lines are cut, man. I've been warning you. They've cut your supply lines. I've seen a weather attack. I've seen the Chinese method of geoengineering being deployed. They have cut your supply lines. They've ruined your airfields. They're taking your vehicles that you have the ability to make out corn liquor to even run. Stay true to yourselves, folks. If there was ever a time to remember who you are, it is now. If there's ever a time not to wake up, but to tune into yourself and find out why you were born. Why are you here? Why did you make it this far? Now is that time. If you do not find yourself now, you will be lost and left behind, because I have no more time to take passengers on my ark. I will just now float. I taught you how to build an ark. This coastal road's in bad shape, and from my ark, I will always tell you what's going on. The A1's had major difficulties, this town here. Right, this is the you're fucked warning, right? Of course, the usuals. Any pet stores, too. You got pet stores, bring them in the air. Save your goods. You got any damn packing bags? You can stick something in, vacuum ones where you keep things dry in your roof. It might be a good place for your documents and stuff. Book collections. Just as a precaution. And it gives you something to do. And you'll find old cool stuff to look at. Maybe even have an emotional moment. And if you're stuck in your house with your partner, take 5 minutes each day to just look in each other's eyes and say nothing. And if you don't start giggling in 4 minutes, your shit's over. And if you do, you're savable. Find yourselves again and say, fuck the world. Fuck what they say. Fuck all the splitting us up. And yes, here's what they want. Right. They want a new railroad. Look at this yard over here, right in the middle of the fuckery. My goodness. And as I said that, the hoop fell off my head. Yeah, they go, we want a new railroad. That'd make a great resort town, wouldn't it? Great access to the Great Barrier Reef. We'll have a hop with a plane. We'll take you out here, special cruise ships. Yeah, great port area, actually. I see you. It's a logistics port center. They want a logistics center. Ah, well, when that happens later on, you can say, Robert said so. No, I ain't seen your weather plan or nothing. It looks like the heaviest stuff is still going down here to Fraggle Rock over here, right? I know it says Flaggy, but I like Fraggle Rock better than I remember it. West Hill. Gee, that's an original name. Kuamala. A Kuda Matata with your cooter in my matata. The cooter maraca. Serena. Rhymes with diarrhea. We need new political scene for Serena. Because, man, are you going to cap a belly full? My God, and they're bringing a lot. There's a lot coming. When I look over here, they split the river. Look. I go back to Oz. I'll change domains again. Come back here, Oz. You got a lot coming in this tendril here. And they've split it into batches. Come on, just get there, get there, get there, get there, get there, get there. Bam. It's been cut. And so that allows a certain amount of this river to come your way. So if I go out here and look, you can kind of see where the tendrils are when you look at the weather plan. And if you look this way, it all came from over here. There's not much left out here. So a couple EMF blasts will bunch that together. So all that has to come ashore is this left here for this event. So why are these numbers increasing? Right? Why is that number increasing? What's been the plans? So that's why I expect these numbers to rise a bit over the next 24 hours and then settle in. Because the obvious EMF cut's been made for the second storm. And the cyclone they're calling from New Zealand is going the other way. It's all going this way. They're not going to get it. You'll get some rains and shit from Australia's hand-me-downs, but other than that, what you're getting today is what you're getting for the next couple of days. So let me go now and look a little bit more into some of where is going to have problems. And I've looked out here, right? I haven't gone up here yet near Townsville. Yeah, this whole area here. Now, I have to ask myself why. What's here? What's wanted? What's needed? There's a railroad line and a highway, right? They want a smart highway, which needs sensors put into the roads and maybe even free energy, pulsing generators so they can have batteryless cars. Or they'll sell you they charge, like you would sit your phone down on a pad. Who knows? And is that tested, the EMF pulses from them? How's that going to do for wildlife and birds that are used to landing on the road? Is it going to cook them? What about a bird that's got a metal ring on it from you tracking it and it lands on one of those devices? Is it going to catch on fire? Because I've used induction hobs, and you got to be very careful what utensils you put in. You'll burn your hand off. This whole road is fucked. I'm looking at how this drains. At least it's going to go out to sea. If that total had happened here, you'd have a whole different story. But if they flood this ahead of time and hit a total like this here afterwards, like a Charter Towers or something, you are in a world of hurt. Then you're having a 2-week event. Just waiting for the water to leave and all. Counts that into it as well. Say you're going to own nothing and be happy, but it sure takes a whole lot of unhappiness to own the nothing, and then you're happy just to have something. I kind of see a different definition of that own nothing, be happy. I think it should start with a suggester of that. Whoever suggests that should go first. Yes, let he who makes the pot of stirs the pot of shit lick the spoon. And it's time for some serious spoon licking to go on to the arse slickers. Yeah, pretty steady on. Unstopped after the next 24 or so hours. So I'm going to run now the actual rain thunders and who gets the rumblers. I'm going to zoom it back too. And in Queensland, right on schedule, as told by some American, gets geoengineering attentions. And yes, they're booming. Yes, they're plumbing. Yes, they're ruining and toxifying what's in the womb, and I think it's wrong. I know what's right. So I come on here and drink coffee and I fight. I'm watching storms approaching Charlieville and think, now I know why when I go outside, the sweet air now stinks. It smells like rotten eggs, and no one even farted. But when I look at the skies, it looks like something sharded. All over Australia every day. I show you what's going on, and I'm always, I say, you are the solution that you're looking for. And only you can answer the opportunity that knocks upon your door. This should roll pretty good. Only you can do this, you know. And as I look at NASA worldview here, and I look at the toxifications in the skies. Yeah, I write poems very quickly, by the way. They don't take me long. Fixing the typos longer. Like this line of bombs here and this line of bombs here. It's not just microwave popcorn anymore. No, this is the popcorn getting thrown in the microwave. These are your popcorn kernels, so to speak. And look at the different color of this ice to this ice. So what is that made of? That's different than what that's made of. Because this will be very cold up there. Or if it's on the low deck. We don't have the foggy as to what's all in everything because we're not allowed to sample everything. We don't have independent labs that are allowed to operate anymore. They've all been bought up by the major corporations during this COVID experience. So it's very difficult now. So and even to have a lab that'll work, I'll keep its address to my fucking self. Why? Because this data is too important to trust in the hand of a numbnut who's just going to say, hey, here's the address, and they raid the place. No, thank you. People funded other people's work, so they have the equipment to do this. I just want other people to send me correlating data. That's why I don't show you what to expect to see. That's not how it works. How it works is I get reproduced data, and then I show you correlations. Otherwise, it's just one piece of paper saying this happened here that day. And I need to show that by you hanging a petri dish out in your yard somewhere that's sterile and letting the fog and the mist at the night collect on it, and seeing what grows is important, or just sample it and send it to a lab and see what's in it. That's going to tell you a lot. Put an agar in one. Is any molds growing from the sky? What kind is it? Does it only grow as a mold in the freezer? Because you're going to have to put one in a freezer. Is it ice nucleating bacteria? You've got a lot of determinants to do your provings of causation. But all the data for your eyeballs is there. All the data of the documents saying what they want to do and can do to you is there. And as we fog over this reef here, there's a lot of things here that need sunlight to feed the things that need to eat things that need sunlight. And these reefs themselves won't survive without it. Now, who knows? There could be a network that goes up underneath the planet, underneath all the various muds of the ocean, that this reef touches every tree in the world. You don't know this. And if you kill it, you might be taking the memory of all that they need to know to survive. And it isn't for us to do that. We might be destroying their library every time we destroy a tree to make a book. Have you ever thought about that? Are you thinking about it now? Do you think that's right or wrong? Oh, we should just have digital books. You know what it takes to make chips? You know what it takes to make the batteries to run your stuff? Lots of toxic things and lots of minings that strip this world dry. And this country is a great example of them. As I got a chemtrail line going across your whole nation nearly here, right? It is. It's an obvious, and it's in a bent turn, and it's all unnatural looking. Even this stuff in the tropics up here is absolutely a chembomination. It's a toxifier of these oceans over here, just so great greedy gums can snatch your land and have a new railroad. They're railroading all life on our planet, and I think it's absolutely unacceptable for people to sit idly by while I watch my planet die. Well, I have a feeling the planet never will die, but I have a feeling we will, and the planet will not cry a fucking tear one. And every one of our monuments and every one of your digital things will disappear. And everything that's ever been carved in stone turns to dust. So really the only thing you leave behind here is a legacy of what did you do to the earth? What vibration did you leave behind in the waters when it rained on you? What's going to happen when this sock of moisture pointing in this direction bails all its water toward this one spot? Place labels, please. Right there. Maryborough and all that's right here. What you gonna get here? What do they got planned for you? Over the fives. Flooding. Inundation. Domination. Locking you down. Without a reason. There ain't no reason to be doing this. Man destroyed the trees. Man needs to replace them. The trees decide the water cycle of the planet. The trees talk to the coral. Because they're all connected through a network that we have yet to take time to fully understand. But some people have made great advancements in the understanding of that. And as I go into the 10, some more thickness is coming up here. It's telling me that second event from that beam up in the tropics is going to begin to have its mark. And they usually split half in half. So like I said, you can expect some of these totals to rise. Because as these meet, the fuckery is going to be bad. Yeah, they're really taking your shit away. And some more has occurred through here. And Catherine area and stuff. I'd expect these totals to rise as we head into the bigger event. And one is showing an absolute terrible tendril. That's a terrible tendril of water that's being forecast. And I tend to believe it because they saw that beam that came from the tropics up here to move stuff down. On the last frame. Bzzz. It did a sweep, and I showed it earlier in the video. And I'll get it to the point. Faster, faster, faster. Yeah, man. It'll be there then. There's a wedge beam that came here, and it beamed the tropics, and it swept in this direction. If I do that all the way that way, I can do it. And it beamed that way. Big blast across your country, backs that moisture up like this, kind of forces a wall this way, so even stuff running in here will have a tendency to start tickling in like that over that area here. I don't see the full setup for an imminent disaster yet for the south like it was, but I do see imminent disaster for Queensland. I see imminent disaster for parts of here, and then the pressures and the EMF beams are going to decide the rest. Weather plans are showing an impact moving toward the west and toward the east. So this is one of those situations when the river of moisture is moving in this direction. Then you got to expect it and bump into stuff like this where the two meet is going to cause a lot of problems. It's going to bump a lot of condensates together. Because if I have a piece of chem, right, and I microwave it, it starts to vibrate. It heats up. So it's hotter than the air around it. So if there's moisture in that air, it'll make it condensate, or like sweat on a glass from temperature difference. It makes a water droplet. And as I go up in the air and keep doing that, I can make that droplet bigger. If I put a lot of chem out, there's so many droplets are so small, you can actually stop rain with chem and particulates themselves. That's kind of how that works. I could do a more in-depth thing on that, but that's as quick as I can do that. Mount Isa, you got some problems coming your way, and it's all your microwave's fault and the chem bombs themselves. over here, Alice Springs. You're getting chem bomb, but you're on a line of perturbation. It's making it difficult for terrain. I said difficult, not impossible, because they're showing some more inundation going south, right? If I get the nothing line and then a something line, what's that tell you? That tells you they're going to bring in a tendril and shoot it across the country here. So you're going to get some, you'll get some more wetness through here. Maybe they've made a final plan. How's the road looking? Okay, wash it out here, and that line is cut. I'm beginning to think this. And then let you drive on it a bit to disturb all the aggregate under the road, and then wash it out again. As the disasters have been too predictable. Even fires, too predictable. And people in a coma in this world need to wake the fuck up before you wake up dead. You wake up dead, man. You don't have a choice about that one too, do you? And New Zealand, you got a little bit of another something coming, but pretty much over the fives now, you've pretty much got your main batches have come in. Right? You just got the wind and it leaving the island and the earthquake when it leaves to contend with. Yeah, I said it like that, just real matter-of-factly, because my low pressure left. So I could take a quick look at you now. I got a moment. Yes, I'm still running. Let's get New Zealand to run a little data for me now. We'll start you with your rain and we'll get an idea where things are. So I'll put the pressure map on. You're no longer showing a valid circulation. That means it's crossing the island, and when it comes off, it'll split off. Or it has crossed. High pressure, assuming it's still volatile, so you're going to bring a lot of rains in. They destroyed the height coming over. I'd love to see how they did that. Must have happened while I slept. Sorry, folks, I get tired. I could still do webcams on it and show you all the fantastic waves I was watching. I was up rather late. I think it was 1:30 when I finished last night. So I think I'll let this run, because I want to look at the pressures while it goes. I could tell a lot about the bubbles, what EMF plans. So I'm going to zoom way back. We'll turn off some of the winds. And if you find my work of value, thank you. I find a lot of your work of value too. And you could support my work if you wish at paypal.me/Robert Deutsch. If somebody might be kind enough to type that in, that would be cool. Somebody keeps telling me to do it after the fact. I just get rolling on this. Looked like there was a bit of a bubble up occurred today, and it worked a little bit of cold air in from the trough down here. From down here. You had a little bit of an interaction with the pressure coming later today, and that's going to add some volatility to the center. So that I don't know what level of the atmosphere it came in, but it usually comes in low, and that triggers storms. So they use the dynamics of a pull-up, bubble up from the down here in the bite, and they're set up to do it again. Just that enough of a gap. It's all it needs to bring just a boop, a little bit of cold air in. Because too much, man, you can make it an unplanned disaster. Their disasters have to be planned. Why? Because you have to have, first off, if you're the government planning a disaster, you have to have things in place to make you look good. Okay, we've got all the emergency stuff. Because, their pants were pulled down in Lismore when all the people did all the rescuings. Yeah. And then you sent Army and actually taking pictures of like they was helping out. And then they said they just put the stuff down and left. They just took pictures like, we're helping. They might look a bunch of Ralphies with their fingers up their nose. It was very sad to see. So the citizenry of Australia really has a big heart and a lot of fortitude. Yes. And that's what makes you not lucky. It just makes you you. So show some of this fortitude. You'll make it through here. Don't give the land grabbers what they want. I did a jewelry show earlier. If there's a piece you might like, message me. Another friend of mine, the other one just got to him. The butterfly one that had all the different stones has a ride. Boy, he loved the way that looked. Huh. It was like a flower cluster. Yeah, I never seen one like it. Hey, that's what it's about. Hope I never do. The owls I have to get made. I think I just have enough money to cover them get made. And so that would still take about a month after I asked the guy to make them before they come. So I might give them a, come on. I've ordered special, you can special deliver. It's just this relentless thunder, lightning. It's got to be very unsettling for your sleep. Sleep deprivation will make you very agitated and cause a lot of bad vibes and arguments. Wow. Look what's coming through. I'm watching her. She should veer to the left. Ooh. She got a steering current. Both of these lows are kicking. That rushes toward that. Kind of puts a section to it. She should truck right toward it. That high should pull it right in. And if so that this one could come in and smack you on the south. Then that'll kind of roll up the coast a little bit and come right through Cox. So what will we be doing? We'll be very vigilant and watching. And then it'll just go. And then this high will start to dominate. And it could be a very short-lived one. But EMF can change that at any time. Not a huge amount of moisture out here for it to kick up, but there's a lot of it here because this is kicking in this direction. Okay, this is going, no, this direction. This is going this direction. This is jumping it into that, which is jumping it into that, shoving it into this tendril, which comes up and over into this, which this then goes into the counterclockwise direction into that, which then pulls that into this, and it makes the volatile storm on top of you. It's just all about numbers. And that's kind of fun to do a prediction just based on these numbers here, do nothing else. And there's a lot of snowflakes out there. So, don't waste your time telling them about geoengineering too long. They'll figure it out when they sell it to them. And when they do, they're going to act like they thought about it. I heard about this new thing called geoengineering, and it might fix it all. Yeah, it fixed you all right. Feeling pegged yet? Tell the person to go behind him and get some stitches, man. They've been imbrogliated, man. Torn, naked, bound, floor, that kind of shit. You'll be lingering. And it's time for the zombies to unzombify. Detox your minds. Take yourself back to you. Remember who you are. Remember why you're here. Put down the books that told you who you are and how to meditate and just go. Close your eyes and be you. Be free. Be oneness. Okay, that's what you have to be. I can meditate in a minute. And he's like, you have to sit like this and hold like that. No, you do not, actually. The crippled man is meditating the whole time. The guy they sing about in the song One was in a total meditative state of consciousness. So no, you do not. As a matter of fact, maybe when you're in those states like that, you will find a different element of yourself. You will find your fifth element and complete yourself. Oh gosh, this is hard to look at. It really, really is. I'm going to do it in jumps. In case I see a pressure anomaly. It's important. Sometimes they'll show me a little hiccup. It hints at something. And it's gone in an hour. They'll change it. It took 24 hours for them to put that big total back up there that I showed you, like, straight off. Yeah, you still get a screenshot of the original plan. You want to see it? It's down, that's this one. It's the original plan coming in, taken on the 10th, yesterday. They were showing this. So you got to remember what you was showing all the time. And I got lots of stuff like that. I keep track. Right, here's what they said was going to come there on the 10th, and they're showing it higher now. And I said that the totals would rise. So it shows to me that I'm thinking about things correctly when I'm reading these maps. It is something coming through there, Tazzy, and looks like it'll be Wednesday morning your time. This bubble up straight over you is, if it pinches off, it's going to roll one up your coast, but I don't see how. But it's possible. I see weird possibilities with long lines like this. In general, with this one kicking counter and this one kicking that way, it shoves that in, and you just get a rain event, and it brings in a little at a time. So I wonder what your totals are going to be around here. It lasts for a few days. Yeah. You got some water coming your way, cuffs, and it'll come down here towards Sydney's as well. So as we get closer to that event, I'll give you a bit more coverage. Lismore and them just looking thin right now. than amounts, regular amount of water you need for your gardens and your beautiful trees and all that stuff around this area. So that's nice to know that the rainforest will get the rain it fucking needs. That man has decided it can be your rainforest instead of the forest raining everything all on the top of us. Oh my, if the roots of the trees found their shoes, would you be able to stand underneath one and survive? I think I would. And again, what a way to go. And as I look at totals like this over a country, most of which is unaware that they're under a weather attack with gaseous, noxious clouds of shit in the sky, I'll now show you the chem bombs. Give me a moment to sip this. I'm not rushing this show. UK can get a separate one later. All right. All right, then, it's time for me to lighten up myself a little fucking bit and see what the hell is going on here. Right then, Alice is as, oh, you naughty, dirty girl there. Oh, my God. Look at her frying you up over here, and she's booming, she's blowing, she's got your day, she's running. Have a nice sleep. Hermansburg. You got sausage fest there? I should visit. Nah, really. I think of that. I think of like Oktoberfest and stuff when I see Hermansburg. But I always think of the Munster. Do 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 do. The long reach of the bomb, the bombs. Pass the chem bomb over on that side to pass the gas. We got the people and they're looking at their phones. The chem bombing and booming, booming, boom bomb, building plums. Breathing in the leftovers this time. Boom! I'm going to tell you this. This is some fucked up shit for me to look at every day. You're bombing the hell out of Townsville. They're putting up beams like this, left and right. They're absolutely shit blasting you. You got a bunch of people sitting on their ass saying, I'm an activist, I'm woke. You ain't woke for shit. You know what, you woke, wipe the sleeper out of your eyes, drink a fucking coffee and get out of bed. Put your shoes on, leave the house, turn the Facebook off, go talk to people. Film videos at bus stops and scream and holler and carry on whatever it takes for somebody to go, what are you talking about? So talk to them about it. Get away from this cognitive dissonance groups that's selling you down a road of a golden age that has nothing to do with you. Golden mean they get the gold while you age. Yeah, I'm going to do my golden age now. And be me. Be free. And be oneness. And if our oneness is aligned, we win the war. If our oneness is don't align, we lose the war. And I don't mean every little thing agreeing upon. The big oneness. Do you want this to go on or not? That's the only question I have. This stuff I've been talking about today. Whether you agree about it or not, if it was real, even in your mind, just like hypothetically, would you want it to go on or not? Oneness is listening to you. I vote no. I don't want this to go on. It's toxifying too many animals out here. And us. On days that we need to go out and get our vitamin D. So I say no. Think this in your mind. Ask people these hypothetical questions. If we can't say it with their mouths, they'll say it with their minds. If every kind of one of these harsh issues, we must use oneness. They're using oneness. TV commercials, ads, fake news posts on you when you're telling the truth. They're getting the oneness vote. So we have to have that back. So everybody out there that don't believe in geoengineering, don't believe in chemtrails, hypothetically, if this was going on, doing the things I say, would you want that to happen to you and your family? Answer that question right now in your head. Don't do it out loud. Just answer. If you say anything but you would want, if you would want that to happen, get the fuck off my planet. You are never going to be symbiosis. Report to the light extermination machine. There's something wrong with your light. And we can retune it. You will be reborn into the heart of a star. Become delighted. That would be enlightening. I'm telling you, I'm very passionate about this topic. I've been fighting it a very, very long time. And I paid a very, very high personal cost for doing this. Higher than most I know. Well, some I know pay with their lives. So we ask Brady Vaughan that? We can't. Should we ask Michael Murphy that? We can't. Where's Max Spears? Hi, it's all right. Max, I still got this. As they're chem bombing up the area that's going to make another cyclone. That they're just taking the water from here and bringing it around the world. And I'm watching them chem bomb the fuck out of the tip of Australia. The farthest north you could get. They found a way to chem bomb 1 last inch of Australia before the day is out. to steal the sunshine from all the animals that need it out here. And all the chem bombs over here, they're going to sail your way later on in the form of storms. They're coming in on the low deck with the bowmen and the plowmen and the runnings. And as I go over here to where the old Wangi falls, they chem bombed you again. They toxified your skies at a time you're finally able to go out. This is not going to help mold to dry out. This is going to be wonderful for the growth of mosquitoes. And who knows what's in this shit. We've picked up larvae of mosquitoes and fleas and stuff in snow and in weather that came from other places, including myself here. In the weather itself, that is possible, and it's diabolical, but it goes on. And if that was going on, would you want it to happen? Would you want to be lied about 9/11 so that it would march your kid off to war on a lie so that the Bush family and others made trillions? I don't think you would. It's not what the Anzac's all about. The Anzac would be about somebody coming over here and attacking you and you defending yourself. But I'm telling you, you've got under a chemical attack right now. They've took out, weather warfare has taken out nearly all the supply lines of Australia right now, all the main roads going out west. An invasion of this side of your country is the most easiest thing to do right now that I ever seen. You come in the port of Darwin, there's too many military there. You guys always worry about shit like that. I'd have you three at once. You come right ashore over here to own that station here and blast the rest of you, drop you till you fell asleep, and just walk around and do what you needed. Because I have the tech to do that. No, but EMF blast me, you all go to sleep. There's movies about that too. Flash forward, watch that one. If you didn't dream when you fell out, you were dead when that happened, right? And then people that never had the dream started freaking out when the correlations came true. So you think they're ever going to tell you what they're doing until they got what they want? You're fooling yourself. You know what they want? They want you to look the other way while they pick your pocket. And the pocket that they're picking is Mother Earth. And these pocket-picking motherfuckers need to stop that cotton-picking shit. It's right. As they're getting ready to flood out this area again. And it's breaking my heart when I had to tell you about it. Because they're planning, man. Their plan is for your land. What you gonna do, man? And with that said, big love. Be you. Be free. Be oneness. Safe Gillum, John Sal, wherever you are.